Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Oh my goodness. I can't believe the first half of the semester is already over. I hope you all had a wonderful spring break and you are ready to get back in school mode. Oh my goodness. I am so excited to announce my co-host for the day. As you can see, Ben is not here, but that is a-okay because I have the wonderful Maggie Brennan. How are you, Maggie?
I'm doing all right, Miss Sarah. How are you?
I am doing just fine. I'm so excited to be recording another episode of the CPCA Backstage Pass podcast. Woo, brought to you by the CPCA Advising Office. Alrighty, let's get right into it. We have a wonderful guest today. Today's guest is a senior theater major in the acting concentration. He has been involved with several productions on campus with side stage and main stage over his 4 years here and has worked on countless films. We are so excited to welcome Andrew Schmid. How you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Oh
Good.
my goodness. Yay. How's the first week back from spring break been treating you?
Um, it's an adjustment, but I'm excited to be back. Very excited. Last semester, stressful, but fun.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. Get into the final couple months here. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like every day it's like I'm like whoopee, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, what? I'm done. Oh. All right, I'm gonna ask you some questions now because that's what an interview is. All righty. So since you are a theater major, I always love to ask this question. What is your favorite Temple show that you've attended?
Um, I don't know. I think maybe Hotel Williams is my favorite one that I've seen. It has to do with there's a few reasons. I think Hotel Williams, it was like the one of the first like in-person shows that I got to see after quarantine ended, which has been like you don't realize how much you miss in-person theater until you get to see it.
Mhm.
Um, and then I don't know. There were like the thing that was really interesting about it was that we went we went 2 years and nothing was in person, and I personally hadn't watched any of the virtual shows over quarantine. I'm sorry, everybody who did virtual shows. Um, but I came back and there's all these new incredible talents who all like kind of started over quarantine, and I don't know, it's just really interesting to see.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about like how people started their temple careers like on Zoom. And
Mhm.
like now I'm like finally seeing all of these people. I'm like, oh my gosh, hi, who are you? Did you just get here? And they're like, no, I'm a junior. I'm like, oh God, it's nice to meet you.
Exactly,
Gosh,
exactly.
that's so funny. I know you've been in a couple shows here too. So can you tell us which is your favorite show that you've been in?
I've been in. Um, I think. I think. I don't know. It's a toss up. The first one is Eurydice, and I did that my freshman year, the spring semester, um, and that was amazing because there were a few seniors in that show who I really didn't know anybody before that point, and then I got to meet these couple of people that just really helped like shape that performance for me, I guess. I don't know. That was a very fun experience because it was my first like long show that I was doing at college, and it was very stressful. But then when it finally came to fruition, there was just like I don't know, it felt amazing. But then my second one, um, I'm gonna have to go with, and I'm plugging our show a little bit. Sarah and I are both in the next production that Side Stage is doing called Smoke and Mirrors, and that's another production that I'm very excited for. And the rehearsal process has already been a lot of fun. This one's really unique because there's there's a sense of like of familiarity and closeness with everybody in the cast already. Probably because we all know each other, but it's the content is very heavy, but it's probably in like the best hands that I can think of for each role. And I don't know, it's just very exciting that we're gonna be doing that soon.
Ooh, I know.
Yeah.
Soon, don't you? Awesome. So, moving out a little broader than Temple,
Okay.
Philadelphia has some great theater experiences out there. So if you've ventured beyond Temple's campus and seen any shows in Philly, can you tell us what one of your favorite ones was of that?
Yes.
I know this one's always the hardest one to recall because I feel like the Temple ones, I'm like, oh yeah, I can picture like which of my friends was on stage, but the
Yeah.
broader ones, I'm like, wait, where was I? Who did I go with?
This one wasn't my favorite of all time. I can't remember the title of the show that is my favorite, but I saw once, and that was my first like
Oh, once was so good.
yeah, that was my first Philly experience or Philly theater experience outside of school. Um, and I was in tears. It
Yeah.
was so good. It was incredible. And I'm not a huge musical person. I'm more of a play type of person, but I thought that once was just it blew me away. It was
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
I loved the instruments on stage and like they had that like lighting thing that like oh my god.
It had me shaking in my boots because
I
there's
know.
all these
I love
actors.
the Arden.
Yeah, they have beautiful voices. They can play all these instruments. I'm like, do I have to do that? I can't play instruments.
The Arden always produces such beautiful shows. Like I never, oh my god, the way they transform that space every time, I'm always like, what? How did you? Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, keeping it in the broader Philadelphia, what has been your favorite Philly experience during your 4 years here?
Um, Genuinely, it's an incredibly beautiful city. Um, there's small areas all around the city that if you find them, I don't know, it's like little pockets of like natural art in this giant like sprawling urban area. Like that we have what is it? Penn's Landing. We have Penn's Landing, and Penn's Landing is I don't know, you could just walk up the entire like kind of like east coast of the city. Um and it's beautiful. I don't know. I honestly like my favorite thing to do, my favorite experience has kind of been like just the walks that I've taken in the city. Because we don't have a ton of time to be able to do that all the time here, you know?
Yeah.
So when we get to do it, it's just like so refreshing. And you forget how many people live here.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a it's like I always think of it, it's like a small city, but it's not. It's like it's big for the like number of people, but it feels a lot like smaller and easier to like it's more accessible to me, I think, than
Yeah.
some of the larger crazy cities that we have in the US.
Especially because Temple's an open campus, but it's also the people that you're going to see every day are going to be students for the most part, you know? So as soon as you venture like past Cecil, it's you get to see all these people who are all in the city, and we don't see them because we only really spend time in this like few block square, you know? But yeah, walks.
Awesome. Walking in the park. Lovely. All right, we're gonna travel back up to Temple. And ask a couple more about your Temple experience. So, being a senior, you've had what? This is your 8th semester here?
Yeah.
Wow. So you've taken a lot of classes in your time here. So what has been your favorite class, or like maybe one or two of your favorite classes?
Um, every semester there's always a class that kind of stands out. So specifically like this semester, everybody has to take this class. But IH2 is is a lot of fun right now. Actually, my professor's great. He's very passionate about all of the material, um, and he'll like I don't know he'll take a topic like we did Marxism last week, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, and he'll take like both sides of it, completely break them down, like try to sell you on both sides of it. It's just very interesting. And it's a lot of fun. I like classes that make me think, but also keep me engaged. And this is definitely one of those. Um, Another class that I didn't think I was gonna like very much, but was so much fun, was critical thinking and reasoning. Um, it covered my math gen ed, and basically it's brain puzzles. Like you literally are doing brain puzzles. Like he'll say them out loud to you, and you have to visualize it. You have to be able to solve it in your brain. And at first I was like, I don't understand this at all. And then it probably took 3 classes, and then I was like, oh wait, it's so simple. And then the rest of the semester was like so fun. So
my gosh, I love it. I love that the gen eds are piquing your interest.
yeah,
That's what they're there for. And you just kind of have to like find the hidden gems of the gen eds, because I think it really matters to pick ones that you're interested in, because then you're just
absolutely.
gonna have a better academic experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, read the descriptions of the classes
Yeah,
too.
it
It's
always
important.
helps.
Yeah.
Always helps. All right. Well, I know you're in the acting concentration.
Yes.
So with all of those, oh my God, with all of those classes, you have to find a lot of time to rehearse your monologues, your scenes, all
Mhm.
that jazz. And what's your go-to rehearsal spot on campus?
Um, Preferably when it's nice out, I like to be outside, but it's a little bit difficult to find a space that isn't going to have people walking through it all the time. Um, but there's that one there's one bench near Tomlinson that's like behind that cement barrier that's kind of like hidden on the dirt.
Yeah.
I love that spot. Um, if it's not if nobody's in it, I like the lower lobby for rehearsing, the Tomlinson lower lobby. Um, and I also just like anywhere on the Ritter 7th floor as well, because the people, if there are people walking past you, it's going to be other theater majors, so they're not going to be like, they're going to be like, oh well, they're rehearsing. So but yeah, those are a few. I never really picked like one concrete spot that I love to rehearse. It's just kind of like depends on how I'm feeling and how
Oh,
my scene partner's feeling. Yeah.
awesome. 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 Don't tell people about that bench. How dare you? It's hidden. Don't tell them. No, but it's a good spot. Um, and when you rehearse or go to class or are in between rehearsing and going to class, we have a lovely place on campus. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called 7-Eleven. And it's a wonderful store where you can go in and pick out any snack of your choosing. So, what is your go-to 7-Eleven snack order?
Well, I am a caffeine fiend, so the only thing that I really care about getting at 7-Eleven is the La Colombe cans. They're
Ooh.
incredible. I'm not a huge energy drink person, so I'm not, if I see like a Monster but there's no coffee, I just go caffeineless. But those cans, I found them freshman year in the J&H vending machines, and they've been incredible. I like genuinely thought about them often over quarantine when I wasn't on campus. I was like, I wish I had those cans.
You can
Ugh.
usually get them at the grocery store.
Yeah, but it's in like the Philadelphia general area because
Yeah,
it's a local
like
company.
Philly born and bred thing.
Yeah.
They're not in Delaware.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. They have them at my grocery store in the suburbs. So I stock up and put them all in my fridge. It's delicious. Do they sell the oat milk ones at 7-Eleven?
Sometimes.
I know that they have all of them at Old Nelson. Uh,
Mm.
and I know that they consistently have the vanilla and mocha at 7-Eleven. Most of the time the triple draft, which is the one that I like. And then there's like that, it's like the nitro one. It's just like black coffee. That's become my recent like favorite, just because I don't know, like sometimes the milk content even though they say that they're lactose free, sometimes the milk content bothers
Mm.
my stomach a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah.
the
I
nitro.
love the oat milk ones are my absolute favorite. So delicious. Um, okay. Now we are moving on, talking more about you, Andrew. All
Okay.
right. Alrighty. So I know you've been in a bunch. I'm like trying to think. I think it's like 5. Have you been in like 5 shows here? During your time at Temple?
Three. I've been in 6.
Oh, 6. You've been in 6 shows. Oh my God.
Blast. Booked and blast.
Can you tell us more about those shows that you've been in and how it's been being a student performer, all that stuff?
Yeah. So my first show here was Ben Vargas Side Stage, freshman year, first semester, and that was an experience. It was very interesting because I had never been a part of something that had like shorter run times, and it was a bunch of performances back to back. It was just, I think at the time it was three one night, three the next night, and two shows, or no, yeah, it was one weekend, and it was the first three the one day, and the second three the following day, and that was, I don't know, it was a lot of fun because the writer was a student. It was student directed. um of course, like the cast was students as well, and it was, I don't know, I just had never been a part of like such a collaborative process before, where the script was like changing as we were rehearsing and stuff. um and then after that was Eurydice, and I spoke on that a bit. That was an amazing experience. And then following that was Enemy of the People. um Enemy of the People was also very interesting. There were a few grad students on that production, and just watching them taught me a lot, and helped shape my perspective on acting just a little bit. And then following that was Bright New Boise, and the that was the biggest production I had ever been a part of, in terms of like having to memorize. I think it was like 80 pages, and I had a line on just about every single page.
Oh my
um,
gosh.
yeah, it was insane. I had no idea how I memorized all of it, but that was that was amazing too. Just because I don't know, that cast was so fun. It was, we got really close by the end of that process. And then what happened after? Then after Bright New Boise was quarantine, and I didn't do anything over quarantine. I ghosted the department for a
Oh
year.
my goodness.
Um, and then I came back, and did short stuff again, which was that was another really fun experience. It was very interesting too, though, because it was on Zoom, and that was my first Zoom production that I had done. And then now this semester is Smoke and Mirrors, and it's already been a really interesting process so far. So yeah,
Wow, that's amazing. Amazing. So many shows.
thank you.
Um, I know, as well as a theater actor, you have been pursuing your career as a film actor too, and you've been in a lot of film projects with Temple, outside of Temple, all that stuff. So if you want to talk about a couple of them, or like some of your favorite ones, highlights, all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay. There's one that I did recently over the summer. It was called Mercy for the Meek. Um, I will not say too much about the production itself, but that was an awesome experience. Another person in the cast was not a Temple student, but someone who lived in the Philly area, and getting to meet them was amazing. And I don't know, it was just such an interesting script. And then what's another one that I did recently? Um, I actually just wrapped another film. I won't give the title, but it was very physically and emotionally demanding, but it was the message that the film gives is incredible, and that's kind of like what I focus more on when choosing a film that I want to be a part of, is the message that the writer and director are trying to put forward. Just because we are, as actors and as writers, directors, all part of the film process, it's very important that we care about what we are impacting with our art, because we're in a position where I mean, if you make a movie, millions of people are going to watch the movie. If it has a bad social message, that could be really bad. If it has a great social message, it can be so beneficial for millions of people. So that's kind of, I don't know, tangent. I'm sorry, but that's what I don't
Oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah, so my favorite films have been the ones that have had just really like either important or universal kind of messages that a lot of people can relate to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Going off of that, like, what's your favorite movie that you've seen? Like something that kind of inspires you, or TV show or anything, that kind of inspires you to keep going in that career path.
Um,
I know there's a lot of movies,
I
so
know.
it's okay.
This is always the hardest question for me.
Yeah.
I think I get asked what's my favorite movie once a week, and every time the answer changes because I just say the first thing that pops in. But I don't know. I think in terms of acting ability, which is not what I just said I choose films for, but in terms of acting ability, I watched Midsummer last semester, and that film it jarred me. I don't know.
Crazy.
But it was yeah, I could not stop watching. I couldn't. And then I don't know. I'm a huge fan of television as well. And this is I'm sure everybody's seen it, but Shameless is
Mhm.
probably my favorite piece of television, and I think that it just honestly pretty accurately depicts like the poverty stricken home experience, and that's very much like a I think giving audiences like an inside look at that, and while also keeping it extremely entertaining and keeping people wanting to watch is something that I don't know. That show I saw like the first three seasons. I think it was the end of high school. I watched the first three seasons that summer, and it has stuck in my brain, and I've watched all of it since. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's awesome. So awesome. All righty. So what month is it? It's March. So about so about 2 months ago, I hear you were in this little process called the ERDAs. And you went through that and had to audition and callbacks and all that stuff. So can you tell us what your experience was with that, and I don't know how you had to prepare, all that stuff,
Yeah.
or
Um,
what the ERDAs is? I don't know.
so I think the acronym is Unified Regional Theater Auditions. Is that what it is? I don't think it is. What is it? Tell me, Sarah.
University Residential Theater Association, I think.
Trivia.
Yo, he got one of the words. Good job.
Yeah. There we
We're,
go.
we're so close.
Sorry, Ernest. Um, yeah. So the ERDAS basically is a single audition, or you can do the guest auditions as well. So it's two auditions, and a large group of graduate programs from around the country, and also so a few of them are outside of the country as well. Will all show up to a single location. Um, our We were originally slotted for New York. Most of the people who auditioned from Temple, but it ended up getting canceled because of COVID concerns, and moved online. Um, so it was all these schools just sitting in a Zoom room, and then you get on the camera and you audition, and you get a solid 2 minutes, give or take, maybe 10 seconds for setup and if I guess if you run over a few seconds, they don't cut you short, but um, yeah. So prep for the ERDAs was honestly mostly acting five in the fall. I took acting five. Sarah was in the acting five with me. Basically, what we did in that class was the first 2 months, give or take. We spent we spent a lot of that time like finding new monologues, watching our peers kind of throwing their monologues out, and if somebody else liked that monologue, they could take it and try it themselves. And it was very collaborative, and we got to kind of assist each other in deciding whether or not that monologue was a good fit for the performer as a person, that kind of thing. And it was very beneficial being able to see like what monologues there was one monologue I've had since high school, and I thought it was the best monologue I could possibly do, and the entire audience was like, "What are you talking about in this monologue?" And I was like, I guess I was just so familiar with it and the circumstances that like I never really thought about how it didn't translate at all to an audience who was seeing it for the first time. Um, so being able to kind of refine our monologue choices and come out with 4 or 5 by the time Erdas happened. You had your 2 pieces contrasting either classical and contemporary or dramatic and comedic, and then 2 to 3 backups for those. And and honestly, that class, being able to workshop everything and perform everything, and then think about like I also wasn't thinking about timing a ton before I decided to like start in this Erdas process. So that was another thing. But yeah, so the prep was basically in that class. Then we had winter break, and then we came back, and there were a few weeks, and then the Erdas happened, and I actually I hadn't been actively prepping during those 3 weeks. 3 weeks? No, 2 weeks until the Erdas happened. And then the day before, I was like, wow, the Erdas are tomorrow. Okay, I gotta get it together. So then I was like speed prepping, but all the groundwork was laid in the acting 5 class already. And so the day of, you get in this waiting room around like 10:30 with a ton of other people who are auditioning, and you just kind of hang out and you hear a little bit about how the day is going to go, and then after that you wait a few hours and your audition slot comes up, and there's this little like waiting room website thing that they invite you. You press the link, you go in, and you get yourself prepped, and it was stressful because I didn't fully know what to expect, but now like afterwards it was very simple, it was very to the point. They had you go and then you were done and then you waited for your callbacks, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a crazy process, but it was a lot of fun to go through. It's like it taught me, I don't know, I did it too.
Yeah.
And it taught me like, yeah, it's just crazy because and it's crazy what you can do with 2 minutes. Like I remember when I first was told that, I was like, 2 minutes? I
Mhm.
need like 7. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Um, but yeah, it's you can do a whole lot in 2 minutes. So
Mhm.
that was that was a good part. Um, I know you kind of talked about the show that we have coming up, but do you have any other exciting projects on the horizon or anything you want to plug or anything?
I actually just wrapped my project that had been coming up for a little while. Right now I am in an in-between space. We're doing the play, and then um after Smoke and Mirrors wraps, it's gonna be just finishing school, and then what
You have
comes on
some,
next.
you have something at the end of April too, I think. The end of April, the class that we're in.
Oh yes.
The showcase. We have a showcase too.
Oh, I
So
didn't know if we should talk about the showcase yet. Yeah, we have a
Andrew's got a show and a
yeah.
showcase coming up. So
We have our Acting 5 2022 showcase uh in what, on Tomlinson stage.
Mhm.
Hmm. At the end of
So
April. Um, and soon, I believe in what, 2 weeks, our website is going to be up.
I
Yeah.
think no, I think it's at the end of April too.
Oh, also
Everything's
the end of
yeah.
April.
All I was like, don't rush me. It's the
Oh,
end. Everything's the end of
never
April.
mind. Sorry, not 2 weeks. Um, yeah. The showcase is definitely exciting. Personally, I'm a bit more excited for the website portion, just because that's going to have it's going to be really accessible to a ton of people who can't actually make it out to Temple for the day of the showcase. Um, but yeah, that's been a very interesting process. It's it's been very like collaborative between all of the students involved. We have an outreach team who's going and finding all of the information about the people we're going to be sending the showcase info to. We have we have a website committee that is putting everything together and is going to make our website look amazing when people look at it. And then we also have a social media committee who has been honestly putting some pretty creative stuff out there, which has been pretty. It's been nice. I don't know. Um, yeah, I'm happy with, it's a very large group this year, but I'm happy with the people in the group for sure.
Totally, totally. All right, that's about wrapping it up here. So remember to go see Andrew in Smoke and Mirrors and the Acting 5 Showcase. But before we go, we have a little game that we like to play. It's very high stakes. If you don't get everything right, I don't know what to tell you. Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. It is Temple this or that, or commonly known as Coke or Pepsi. And we're just going to ask you some Temple questions, and you can explain yourself if you want, but you only have 1 minute to get through. We have like about 12 or 13, I think, here today.
It takes me like 5 minutes to answer a simple question. Okay. All right. All right.
All righty. I will be timing you, and the lovely Maggie will be asking you the hard questions. This is the hardest part of the interview.
Great.
This is the riveting stuff.
I'm ready.
All righty. Are we ready, Maggie?
I sure am. How
Are
about
we
you,
ready, Andrew?
Mhm.
All
Okay.
right. 3, 2, 1.
Sack or food truck?
Sacker food truck? Food truck. Easy. Come on.
Richie's or Saxby's?
Richie's or Saxby's? Saxby's for coffee, Richie's for food.
Okay, Richie's or Bagel Hut?
Richie's or Bagel Hut? I had one bagel from Bagel Hut. It was the best bagel I've had here all year. Bagel Hut.
Okay, swag. Atrium or Tomlinson Lobby?
What or Tomlinson Lobby?
The Atrium.
Tomlinson Lobby. Come on.
Heard. Okay. Ritter or Rehearsal Hall?
Ritter.
Wawa or 7-Eleven?
Wawa. I didn't hear Wawa at first. Yeah, Wawa. Easy. Come on. Sorry, 7-Eleven.
Charles or Paley?
Haley.
Yeah. Yeah. Monologue or scene?
Scene.
Tomlinson or Rendell?
Randall.
Film or theater?
Film.
Drama or comedy?
Drama.
Oh, no.
Oh, no!
What did we miss? How many were left?
You got missed by 2. That's A-okay. Do you want to do them real quick? Or no? Or do you just have to live
Want to do the last?
knowing what it could have been?
No, I want to know.
Oh, okay. All right. So it was going to be classical or contemporary.
Contemporary.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. And then Center City or Fishtown.
Center City. I like Center City. Yeah.
Right.
Like South Street.
Oh my goodness. That was one of the funniest this or that games I've ever witnessed. I loved it. The energy, it was all there. It doesn't even matter that you didn't get through it. I think you still get the virtual high five. That's what you get if you win. Oh my God. Loved it. Hilarious. I was trying so hard not to laugh because I was like, oh no, my mic is on. That can hear.
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for coming on the show today. We are so thankful that you got to come here and we got to learn more about you and your Temple experience. And thank you so much, Maggie, for sitting in and being my co-host today. Could not have done it without you. Always love a good co-host. You know it. As always, we will be posting more episodes on Fridays, so watch out for more CPCA Backstage Pass content and follow us at CPCA_advising on Instagram to keep up with all things advising. We're going to have some walk-ins coming up for some priority reg, so get on that. Check out your emails and schedule an appointment with your advisor if you've got more semesters left. If not, get ready for graduation. You got this. It's 2 months away. You got this. All righty, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week and we will see you next time.